Yeah, my mate Fish, a little bit concerned about him, you know what I mean, about that bus and all that crap, and then he tried to talk Fish. It's very hard to understand him, yeah, but he's big now on media. He's big on media now. Everybody knows Fish, yeah, everybody all around the world know Fish after that bit of a turnout on the bus. If there hadn't been no cameras there, people hadn't put it on TikTok and all this, that, and the other. No one would know nothing about that fight on the bus. Well, not a fight, a bit of a push and pull, yeah? Bags at 9 and all that sort of thing, you know what I mean? And no one would know nothing. And the Fish would have been the exact same, you know, but now everybody knows who Fish is. So Fish really has got to let himself come out a bit more than what he is, yeah? You know what I mean? Between me and you, yeah, Fish has gone, I've wiped my mouth. I've got nothing to do it now. I'm just going to move and do my own thing. I've been trying to get hold of Fish. I can't get hold of him, yeah. But Fish, he trained with special forces for about 3 months. He went to the moors. There's a few people, heavy people, yeah, heavy people, who've been to the moors, and they go out there to train with special forces and learn the skills. And Fish went out there with them, yeah, and he was telling me about a hole. He and 2 others dug the hole, yeah. They dug this big hole and filled it in with all these twigs and bits and pieces over the top of it. And then they went out and they started to kill animals to survive, make fires. They lived in that hole for about a week, you know, and it's all like, and they don't go up there in the summertime. They go up there in the wintertime when it's absolutely freezing cold, you know, absolutely bitter. And if anybody, right, like many people have been into Fish's bedsit where Fishes lived, yeah, the bedsit was like a fridge. Swear to God. It had the old-fashioned windows, all cracked windows. It was freezing. No heat, no central heat, nothing. Freezing cold. And Fish, you could sit in there, mate, lying there and never moan because he's done that. He'd done that in the moors. And that ain't easy, mate, to go over there in Dartmoor and do that, you know. He learned how to survive. He learned how to shoot rifles. He learned how to load guns and all that. And what they'd done out there, they put rifles and guns. They scatter them about in the square mile, right? Yeah, I'm joking. They scatter them out the square mile, and you've got to find them. You've got to find them bits and pieces to put the rifle and the gun together. Yeah, Fish, he learnt all that, mate. He ain't no fool. Even though he's gone, I wipe my mouth. He's more dangerous when he says I wipe my mouth than he is having a little push about on the bus, yeah? Having a little push about on the bus. You got to remember that Fish did respect that guy who had kids, right? He didn't go over the top of it, Fish. He could have done it very easy. And there's a few people shouting their mouth about this, that, and the other, Fish, you know, saying, well, come and see me, Fish, and all that. Listen, let me tell you something, you know, he's the sort of person you don't need on your case. He's the sort of person you don't need saying I wipe my mouth, because he's never, ever going to wipe his mouth. He isn't like that, Fish. Believe me, he can be quite dangerous. You know what I mean? And, you know, you sit down with Fish. I wanted to do me and Fish do a interview, like a podcast, you know. And I was trying to, you know, Fish is mucks about a bit too much, yeah. And I was trying to talk to Fish about that, you know. And I said, look, can't we do it? He said, no, I can't do that, way. I'm not allowed to do that, you know. But he told me things like I just told you about all the guns, the rifle and the handgun and all that being spread about a mile, and you got to find it, you know. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. And you're not on a pavement or in a park, you're over the moors. Freezing cold, snowing everywhere. You know what I mean? And then they've got to kill animals to survive. They eat anything, and not only do they eat it not even cooked. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that. You know, obviously they cook it a bit, you know, but they don't cook it like we cook it indoors. They ain't got a microwave or an oven. All they got is a couple of twigs and they set alight. You know what I mean? If they can find anything to set alight. It's snowing out there, yeah? Yeah, he's proper fish. Don't think because he's gay, he ain't nothing. Believe fish. He's proper, mate. He's proper. He knows all. Did you hear the one he's on about? He was on a push bike, and the guy was on an electric bike, and the guy pulled out a big machete on him, one of them big knives, and Fish just ran towards him, because Fish knows how to disarm people. He's a bit mustard, Fish. I'll tell you that. He's no fool. Yeah, bang, bang, well. Nice one.